Hi guys, I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief right here at Israel Brief Central in the heart of Israel, the city of Modi'in. And these news headlines are brought to you by Lay of the Land. So let's take a look at the top stories. The big story, of course, today will be President Herzog addressing US Congress a little later. Now, he will follow in the footsteps of his father, Chaim Herzog, who was also a president of Israel. Meanwhile, let's backtrack a little and look at the president's meeting with President Biden. President Herzog arrived in the United States yesterday. He was warmly welcomed by Israel's ambassador to the US, who also happens to be his brother, Michael Herzog. He then went on to Washington and met with President Biden. In their discussions, President Biden reiterated that the US's commitment to Israel is ironclad and that the US will not allow Iran to acquire a nuclear bomb. President Biden also said that, he said it before and he'll say it again, if no Israel existed, one would have to be invented. President Herzog also made his comments speaking about a message from Israel to the US president, a message of gratitude from the Israeli people for the incredible and enduring relationship between Israel and the United States, and a huge thank you to the commitment to Israel's security. With regards to the internal politics, the president said that Israel's democracy is resilient and that we are having the tough conversations and discussions as a people, but that he hopes we will be able to exit a difficult time peacefully and responsibly. The president then went on to meet with Secretary of State Antony Blinken. The two discussed Iran. The Secretary of State lauded 75 years of the existence of the State of Israel and wished the president every success for his address to Congress later today. Now, speaking of Congress, at least 50 bipartisan congressmen and women have signed a letter to the Secretary of State appealing to him to clamp down on the Palestinians' pay-for-slay scheme. The pay-for-slay scheme sees Palestinian terrorists or their families receive a stipend from the aid that is earmarked for Palestinians. It is amazing that out of the hundreds of millions of aid that goes to the Palestinians, the majority of it goes towards this pay-for-slay scheme, and all it does is it creates an economy of terror. Last night, in an overwhelming majority of 412 to 9, US congressmen and women, bipartisan from the Republican and the Democratic parties, voted on a resolution that reaffirms the strong relationship and allyship between Israel and the United States, and quite clearly and unequivocally states that Israel is not a racist state and not an apartheid state. I don't need to tell you who the 9 naysayers were. I'm just going to hint that they were the squad. Now, just a short while ago, President Herzog met with National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. And of course, tomorrow we will unpack the president's speech as he addresses Congress. Yesterday was a day of protest or a day of resilience or a day of disruption, depending on where you sit with regards to the proposed judicial overhauls. Nevertheless, last night, 161 Air Force Reserve pilots, including 2 brigadier generals and 5 colonels, have signed an open letter saying that they will not show up for reserve duty, saying they are concerned that the current legislation is taking Israel towards a dictatorship. It has also been reported that field reserve units are expected to sign their own open letter saying that they believe that Israel has reached a red line and they can no longer perform their reserve duty. Earlier today, doctors across the countries, including in hospitals like Ichilov, Beilinson, Sheba, Wolfson, Asuta, and more, across the country went on strike for 2 hours. This was declared to be a warning strike against proposed judicial overhauls. Doctors, nurses, medical staff have said that they are very, very concerned about the impact of this proposed legislation and what it could have on the future of how medicine is practiced in Israel. Israel will send 2 Elad firefighting planes from the Elad squadron to Greece to help combat wildfires that are sweeping across the Mediterranean country. The government have said that the planes will stay there for as long as necessary and will depart for Greece at 6 a.m. tomorrow. The government of Israel have also said that they will stand by Greece as Greece battles wildfires, thanking Greece for their support and their solidarity and returning the favor when Israel has battled the same. And finally, because we really could do it with some good news, it has been confirmed that at least 500 pets have made aliyah from war-torn Ukraine. Now, this is since the start of the war with Russia in February last year. The International Fellowship of Jews have ensured that 99 flights with at least 234 cats, 236 dogs and at least 1 chinchilla have safely made aliyah. Pets are very, very important to people, and a Holocaust survivor is quoted as saying there's nothing left for her in Ukraine anymore, and at least she has her cat with her, which brings her some comfort. And that's it for today's edition of the Israel Brief. Don't forget to join me again tomorrow for the last brief of the week. But in the meantime, please don't forget to check out our website at www.layoftheland.online. You can check out all our original content. Our Facebook page is at Lottel's site. Our YouTube channel, which is growing, thank you new subscribers who clicked on that red subscribe button, is at the Israel Brief, and we're on Twitter at Lay of the Land 5. I'm Rolene Marks, wishing you a wonderful Wednesday, and I'll see you again tomorrow.